don't want to put them on. Also, if you're sitting next to the tram, if they have not fallen down yet, be careful once they do so. We don't want you to injure your arms or your feet. If you've got small children and their feet don't touch the floor, make sure they're sitting towards the center of the aisle, away from the tram doors. It does get bumpy throughout this tour. And last but not least, don't forget selfie sticks are not allowed here, but you can keep your cell phones and your cameras out and take all the photos and videos that we want. It's a beautiful day on the lot. The sun hasn't set here yet, and if you guys look to the right, you're getting one of the best views of the entire city. From here, you're getting a sneak peek at our
Bye! Great. You'll probably never see them again, but that's okay, you don't know them. Here's a great chance to meet some people. Let's meet our co-host. You'll recognize him from TV shows like The Tonight Show or That's My Jam on NBC. Here he is, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Rayon.
And the greatest driver.
Caleb.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
Rayon
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Thanks, Jimmy. That's right. There's a few rules we should all follow whilst on the tour. First, if you have any emergencies or require any assistance, be it a medical emergency, you drop an item of value off the side of the tram, or you have any audio or video issues, reach up and pull on the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please sit down and remain seated, keeping heads, arms, and legs inside the vehicle for your safety. This studio is private property, so if at any point during the tour you drop your phone or you really need to use the restroom, pull on the red cord and I will assist you, but do remain seated and inside the tram at all times.
Good.
What? No, please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. And be prepared, the tour features loud sound effects, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and many water effects. You will want to have your cameras out and ready for all the photo opportunities we have for you, but make sure to keep them away from the water so they don't get wet. And for your safety and the safety of those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on the tour. We're taking you into the studio through the Universal movie timeline. You can see a small sampling of the over 8,000 movies we've made right here in our over 100 years of filmmaking history. Carl Lemley founded our studio in 1912 back in the East Coast and moved in here March 15, 1915. And we've been here ever since, making movies, TV shows, building our own theme park, and our own entire city. We're actually located in our own incorporated city called Universal City, California. We're making our way down to the first section of the studio, known as the front lot. This is where most of our sound stages are located, and these buildings are where most of our filming takes place. The first soundstage is coming up in front of us a little to the left. That is Soundstage 12, one of the largest and the oldest single sound stages in the studio. Right now, the studio is going through an expansion phase. We are adding production facilities and a few sound stages in the team member campus, and a lot of that construction is happening right here around Soundstage 12. So we can't really film anything in there right now, but you can see it still has the logo for The Voice painted on the corner of the building. The Voice filmed in there for over 10 years. But even way before that, that same soundstage was home to Dr. Frankenstein's lab. It was Dracula's castle. Scarface's mansion. All of these scenes on your screens were filmed inside of Soundstage 12. And you can see it's large enough in there that we can build sets that look like they are outside, inside of the building, like Whoville from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or this Hawaiian resort from the movie Couples Retreat, which was built inside of Soundstage 12 with the pool and everything. You can also see what it looks like when it doesn't have a set inside of it. A giant, empty warehouse-like space where we can control any sort of lighting effects, weather effects, sound, and build anything you can imagine. And all the sound stages look a little like this, they just vary in size and shape. So when a production moves into any of our sound stages, that is what they get. A giant room that they have to fill up with all their sets, lighting rigs, and everything they need to film their project. On the left-hand side, we're driving by sound stages 7, 8, and 14 is coming up around the corner. These three are used for the TV show Bel Air. Bel Air is a modern take on the sitcom from the 90s with Fresh Prince of Bel Air. They just started working on season 3 of the show, and here to tell you a bit more about it, 2 of its stars, Jabari Banks and Ollie Charlatan.
Can you just grab me a water when you get? So what it is, you put egg on the cheese. You put cheese on the eggs, on the cheese. That's right. Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there? I don't know, it's gotta be a lot. Man, we could probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew in there. No, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. For sure. You're lucky for y'all. The Banks family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? I don't know, I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the foyer set where Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours. Yeah, and that was really fun. I couldn't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Yes, yo, Transpo's the best, and they have the sweetest rides for us to play with. Actually, speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we'd better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to their tour. Yeah, that sounds good. As long as I get to drive. Oh, not if I've got the keys. Oh, no, tell me.
Seasons 1 and 2 of Bel Air are already streaming only on Peacock. On the right-hand side, we're driving by South Stages 16 through 19. These 4 were used for the Netflix show Never Have I Ever, created by Mindy Kaling and starring Maitreyi Ramakrishnan. Right now, they're being used for a brand new show called A Classic Spy, based on the Academy Award-nominated documentary Mole Agent. This show will star Ted Danson, and it's produced by Michael Schur. Now, right before the new show started, these were used briefly for the new show Ted, based on the movies Ted and Ted 2, with the animated teddy bear that you can see there on our left-hand side. Here to tell you more about that new show, I'm going to leave you with the voice of Ted, Seth MacFarlane.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at my Peacock original event series, Ted. It's a prequel series set in 1993. And that means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, Ted is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch.
Oh, come on! All these buildings on the left are some of our production company offices. This is where we house Illumination Entertainment, the company that brought you Despicable Me, The Minions, The Secret Life of Pets, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. Mark Platt Productions is also housed here. They've made movies like Legally Blonde, La La Land, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and the upcoming movie musical Wicked, which will star Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and Michelle Yeoh. Building 5195 used to be Alfred Hitchcock's office. It is now home to the De Laurentiis Company. They've made movies like Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising, and the TV show Hannibal. On the left, South Stages 25 and 26, some of the more modern ones in the studio. 25 is home to the sitcom Lopez vs. Lopez, starring George Lopez and his daughter Maya Lopez. They're filming season 2 of that show. South Stage 26 is used for a brand new show created by Justin Spitzer, the same creator from Superstore. That new show is filming its first season right now. With this, we've arrived into the back lot. Out here in the back lot, we like to say the world is just around the corner. This is where we film all the big stuff, exterior scenes on a very large scale. The first area we're going to see today is known as the Metro sets. These are used to recreate large cities, New York, Chicago, Boston, LA, or even European cities like London and Paris, using all the different sections scattered throughout the area. The first section we're going to fully see is known as Brownstone Street. That's a residential city lot that's appeared in countless productions. You'll recognize it on your screens in this scene from the movie Bruce Almighty starring Jim Carrey, and it's coming up here on our right-hand side.
Place the dog! Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
You can also see Brownstone Street in movies like Gone Girl, the TV show The Mindy Project, and also the movie Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. If you've seen Home Alone 2, the scenes where Kevin McAllister is throwing bricks at the bandits from the rooftop were filmed out here. This is also where he sets up the trap with the rope covered in oil that he sets on fire when one of the bandits tries to climb down from the roof. Next up, we're going to Courthouse Square. That's what we call this area in the studio, but you might recognize it better if I called it Hill Valley from the movie Back to the Future. looks a lot different today. It doesn't look the same way it did in the movie. That's because Back to the Future was so successful and so memorable, we had to completely remodel and redesign this area so we could continue using the same area in other movies and TV shows without having audiences recognizing it instantly as Hill Valley from Back to the Future. But we did save the clock tower. It's still right there. We only covered it up with that newer City Hall, which was built for the later seasons of Ghost Whisperer, which also filmed here. But you can see the doors to City Hall are kind of open today, and through those, you can still see part of the original pillars and the original entrance to the clock tower, which is still there. That City Hall sign was recently changed to read John Hancock High School for the TV show Ted. This is where they go to school in that show. And in the final season of Never Have I Ever, they turned the entrance to City Hall into the entrance to a club in Princeton, New Jersey. But for that same show, this was usually Sherman Oaks, California. They also recently filmed a new movie here called Maxine. That's going to be the sequel to the movies X and Pearl, starring Mia Goth and produced by A24. Away from the small town vibes of Courthouse Square into the Big Apple. This next area is called New York Street. There's a replica of the original Macy's store there on the left, the one with the statues on the second floor. Big hotels, Broadway theaters on either side. Here I'll leave you with our co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, while at first glance, a lot of our sets might look like regular buildings, the truth is, most of the sets in the back lot are actually something called facades or false fronts. That means out here, we usually only build the front and the sides of the buildings, only what the camera requires to establish the exterior. The interiors are built and filmed inside of the sound stages most of the time, where we have a lot more control. So if you try to look inside many of our sets, you'll notice they don't really have any space inside of them. A lot of them don't have the interiors finished. Some don't have interiors at all. What looks like stone or brick is actually very lightweight materials like styrofoam, foam rubber, fiberglass, and plastic. Materials that we can move and change around quite easily depending on the requirements of our scripts. Which means when we're filming out here, we usually have to cover the windows and doors with window displays and curtains, which they've done for a few of these because they were filming Bel Air here for the past 2 weeks. So they turned that corner store into an antique furniture store. Jamal's Barber Shop is back there as well. And then they added some vinyl and decal to the windows so that it looked like it could be a store or a place here. We have to make these sets look like a real city, and we can do that by decorating them. Everything you see here is fully customizable. The productions that work here are able to change everything you see here. The materials the buildings are made out of, the windows, the doors. 3D is one of the world's largest 3D experiences, with screens that are over 40 feet tall and over 180 feet wide. This attraction was designed by Peter Jackson and his production team at Weta FX, and they just received their 7th Academy Award last year for their work creating the special effects to the movie Avatar: The Way of Water. That same year, they were nominated for the special effects of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and The Batman. Their 6 previous awards include movies like King Kong, Avatar, and The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking. They're looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that they're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this wide range of movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
During our trip through Skull Island, you probably noticed that one of the cars that is part of the tram got ripped apart and thrown right into the middle of the action on screen, turning into what is known as a picture car. A picture car is what we call any vehicle that appears in a movie or TV show. Doesn't even have to be a car, a spaceship, a boat, a train. They're all considered picture cars. And sometimes these vehicles become even more famous than the actors that drive them. We've created countless of these vehicles here at Universal Studios Hollywood, so I recommend you start getting your cameras ready, because coming up on the left, you're gonna see some of our picture cars.
No, I see el Max, mami. Tienes papel, ¿te acuerdas aquí en mi teléfono? O yo analizo. Yo tengo todos, dame dos. ¿Qué me dijiste? Aplicación que te está abierto, te digo yo analizar. Te digo, ay, sí, el Max, hoy no va a alcanzar. Tienen 10,
We recently added the Fry's Electronics van from the movie Nope and the Crawdaddy boat from the movie Us, both written and directed by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele. Coming up in front of us on the right-hand side, you're going to see a Jeep Wrangler Sahara from 1992 that was used for the first time in the first Jurassic Park movie back in 1993. That movie turned 30 years old last June. But you can also see the same Jeep in Jurassic World in 2015. The kids find it in the abandoned section of the park and try to fix it to get away from the dinosaur attack. And it's here on the right and also on your screens.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
In this next area, we have picture cars and props from the first 3 Jurassic Park movies. In front of us on the left-hand side, you're going to see a big teal cage with claw marks scraped on its side. That cage was used to transport the Stegosaurus in the second movie, The Lost World Jurassic Park. On the right-hand side, there's a boat with a cage on it. Those are from Jurassic Park 3. A few characters hide in that cage to avoid the Spinosaurus. On the left-hand side, the mobile lab from the second movie. Remember it, I'm going to talk about it in a bit, but we have a very special treat coming up on the right. Some cages with live dinosaurs in... all the cages are open and empty. We might be in big trouble right now. If you see anything approaching the tram, if you hear any movement near or around you, any motion, duck, duck! At least half of us are safely away from the dinosaurs. I want to play a clip from the Lost World Jurassic Park. Here you'll see the mobile lab in action, the same one we just drove by earlier. Both in the movie and in real life, this looks like a very heavy, sturdy vehicle, but it isn't. We actually built it almost entirely out of plywood, which makes it very lightweight. We needed it to be lightweight for scenes like this one. And I'm gonna pause it right here and take a moment to ruin movie magic a little bit more. You just saw Julianne Moore fall to the glass from the top of the mobile lab. That scene was actually filmed in reverse. She started right here, resting on the glass, and got pulled up by wires. When you play it backwards, it looks like she's falling. The glass is not glass at all. It's a very thick panel of fiberglass, so it's not breaking. All those cracks on the surface are completely digital, created using CGI, computer-generated imagery. Then the team makes a quick cut. They remove the panel of fiberglass, add all the breaking glass digitally, and we're left hanging off what appears to be a cliff in the middle of the jungle. And I say appears to be a cliff because this cliff is just the wall to one of our parking structures here in the studio, which we decorated with artificial rocks, artificial trees, even a fake waterfall to make it all look like the jungle. But this way, everything was safely under our control here in the studio, including the weather. You can see it's raining heavily throughout the entire sequence. The movie is set in a tropical island off the coast of Costa Rica known as Isla Nublar. Tropical weather is very rainy, but a lot of the scenes filmed here in Southern California. Our weather is usually very sunny and dry, so when we need rain, we have to create it ourselves. This area is called Old Mexico, and we're gonna park right here. I want you to take a look on the left-hand side because it's gonna start raining in 3, 2, 1. Rain. That effect is created using highly sophisticated pieces of technology called sprinklers. They're located on top of the trams and on top of the trees. They shoot water up. Gravity helps it fall down to the ground almost naturally, and that's exactly how we make rain for film and TV. Very simple. We can place the sprinklers strategically so that the camera, the crew, and the director stay dry while all the actors are getting soaked in the rain, and we can make this happen anywhere in the studio, even inside of the sound stages. But here in Old Mexico, we activate the effect every time a tram drives by, so it rains all day and night. And lately, we've been running into a tiny issue with giant flash floods like that one headed our way right now. Keep your cameras straight! That effect is created using thousands of gallons of recycled water. You can see it in the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti here on your screens.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
You may recognize this next part of Old Mexico from movies like Nacho Libre with Jack Black, Three Amigos, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, TV shows like Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, Star Trek Picard, and this was the town of Pariah in Season 1 of Westworld on HBO. Away from Old Mexico into the Wild West, the next area is called 6 Points, and it's been here since the silent film era. These are some of the oldest sets still standing in Hollywood. And I want to point out a set coming up on the left, this big building, the 2 stories. The doors are open. It's the one that says Opera House. Look through those doors and you'll see a full set in there. This is something called a practical set, which is different from most of our other sets because we can actually film both inside and outside of it. Most of our other sets, as I mentioned earlier, we can only film outside of them. And this is a good area where if you try to look inside many of our sets, you can see directly through to the outside. A lot of these don't have interiors at all. But the saloon, which now says Opera House on it, is a full set. You can see it here on your screens as well. Now, even though these are some of our oldest sets, we still use them all the time. You can see this area in movies like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, with Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Barbie herself, Margot Robbie. In that movie, these sets were used as the sets of the TV show Lancer, and they also used the inside of the saloon for one of the fight sequences. It's also where Julia Butters and Brad Pitt have their deep conversation about acting. Now, I mentioned they use the entrance to the clock tower as the entrance to a club in Princeton, New Jersey, and for Never Have I Ever. Well, the inside of the club was actually this saloon here on your screens. So they used 2 completely different sets as one location for the show. That saloon was also where Sandra had her wedding in the TV show Superstore, and we've used it for Community with Joe McHale as well. This area can also be seen in movies like Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford, Saving Mr. Banks with Colin Farrell, and TV shows like Angeline with Emmy Rossum, the new version of Quantum Leap with Ernie Hudson, and Killing It with Craig Robinson. As we exit here, sound stages 30, 31, 32, and 33 in front of us to the left. Those are some of the newest and largest in the studio across the little lake there. 30 and 31 are the new home to The Voice. They've been in there since season 22. 32 and 33 were used for the movie Us, the movie Nope, and the TV show That's My Jam on NBC with Jimmy Fallon. The little lake you see there on the left is known officially as Park Lake, but a lot of us still lovingly call it the Black Lagoon, because back in 1954, that's where we filmed Creature from the Black Lagoon. Everything on the window displays can be changed, and productions that work here can also set these sets on fire, drive cars through them, blow them up, because they're not real buildings. So as long as they put them back together when they're done, they can do whatever they want to them. A lot of incredible productions have filmed right here. Back to the Future, Bruce Almighty, Captain America, the First Avenger, The Amazing Spider-Man, Transformers, The Forever Purge, most of the Fast and the Furious movies, TV shows like Parenthood, How I Met Your Mother, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., American Ninja Warrior, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, The Mindy Project, the list goes on and on forever. So a lot of incredible directors have worked right here. Ron Howard, Steven Spielberg, Michael Bay, and the incomparable Peter Jackson, director of the 2005 version of the movie King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to do movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully...
And speaking of classic monster movies, we are rapidly approaching my favorite area of the backlot. This next area is called Little Europe, and I'm checking something. We might have a traffic change. Checking, yep. We have a moving. Yeah. Well, Little Europe right here on our left. We're taking a U-turn here. You can see a little bit of the construction and earthquake here on the right. But Little Europe is where the monster movie genre was born. Movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, The Phantom of the Opera, and countless other monster classics since the 1920s film right here. This area was also used for the movie musical Cinderella with Brandy, Whitney Houston, Whoopi Goldberg, and Victor Garber. This was the fictional country of Genovia in Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, and one of my favorite TV shows ever, The Good Place, also filmed in there. On our left, we have a practical set, another practical set again. This is a house where we can film both inside and outside of it. It was built for the TV show Home and Family on the Hallmark Channel, which ran for many years. Now that it's over, the house is used for Bel Air. This is where the influencers live in that show. It was briefly used in Never Have I Ever, just the interior. And they've been using it for a few commercials as well. If you watch the Super Bowl, the commercial with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger filmed in that house. Now, we are a little past the halfway mark of the tour. Just want to remind everybody to please remain seated at all times, keeping heads, arms, and legs inside the vehicle for your safety. If you have any emergencies or require assistance, pull on the red cord, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, we're leaving Little Europe behind, but I want to show you a few of the classic monster movies that filmed there so you can see what the sets looked like back then.
Listen now, the monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. Are you ready? Now light your torches and go!
The street we're on is technically called Denver Street. It doesn't currently look like much, but it used to be part of 6 Point, all the Western sets we saw earlier. Now it's mainly parking for NBC News trucks and Telemundo News trucks. Now we're gonna take a small detour to a cool vacation beach town known as Amity Island. And well, you probably heard about a great white shark that was terrorizing this town. But as you'll see on the right-hand side, the shark has been captured, so you have nothing to fear, I think.
Get that man out of the water! Now!
There's definitely another shark in the water. I think our best bet for safety is going to be to move forward just a little bit and hide right here behind this beautiful abandoned dock full of danger signs and gasoline tanks. Steven Spielberg himself named our mechanical shark here. His name is Bruce, and Bruce is the only shark in the world that can swim on top of the water in reverse, as you can catch him doing right now. He is also a lot more reliable than the first shark that was built for the film.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark."
Well, now, for a while there, I had the biggest fault, so I really owe the shark a lot.
The sets of Amity Island were also the town of Cabin Cove during the filming of the TV show Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher. We have a few more practical sets coming up, again sets we can film both inside and outside of. The houses coming up in front of us to the left at some point were real homes where people live. They were eventually moved into the studio and used for movies instead. They've been used for movies like Hancock with Will Smith, the Academy Award-winning To Kill a Mockingbird, and TV shows like 911 on Fox with Angela Bassett, and Superstore with America Ferrera and Ben Feldman. If you've seen Superstore, America Ferrera's character Amy lived in the White House, the second house in, and they turned it into an apartment complex for the show. On the right-hand side, this house is known as the Chicken Ranch. You can see it in action on your screens. Lucky today that there's no production happening in this street, which means it's open to us. This street is usually closed to the tourists. It's called Colonial Street, and it's always busy with production in here simply because it looks like this. It looks like any generic suburban neighborhood. So anytime we need one of those, which is all the time, we'll film here. For example, if you've seen Never Have I Ever on Netflix, you'll recognize the yellow house coming up on the left. That's where Davy and her family live in the show, but most of the characters live on this street even though they pretend they're all over Sherman Oaks, California. If you've seen the new holiday movie Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy on Prime, Eddie Murphy lived in the brown house here on the right. This entire street was Candy Cane Lane. That's the same house Beyonce walked out of in the Verizon commercial for the Super Bowl. Next door, the gray house, that's where Trent lives in Never Have I Ever, and also where Keenan lived in the sitcom Keenan with Kenan Thompson and Chris Redd from SNL. A lot of people still call this Wisteria Lane. because this was also the main set of ABC's Desperate Housewives for the entire run of the show, which premiered 19 years ago.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's...
So that roundabout is right here on our left-hand side. You can see the street has changed quite a bit in 19 years. We constantly have to remodel, repaint, and re-landscape all these houses so that they don't look the same in every production that films here. And while they all look like they could be real homes, only 5 of them have interiors. The rest are false fronts or facades. The light blue house here on the left, the one with the 3 windows in the front of the 2nd floor, that's where Ted lives in the new show Ted. So I want to show you what it looks like on the show.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see. We got 20 cartons.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Oh, come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
And Colonial Street has been here for many, many decades, so I want to show you a few more productions that I've filmed there, and you can see how the street has changed throughout the years. We are now about 10 minutes away from the end of the tour, almost back to the theme park. Final reminder to please remain seated at all times, keeping heads, arms, and legs inside the vehicle for your safety. If you have any emergencies or require assistance, pull on the red cord and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, to tell you about where we're headed next, I'm going to leave you with Kiki Palmer.
What's up, Studio Tour? I'm Kiki Palmer from Jordan Peele's film, Nope. What's a bad miracle? Well, you'll have to see our movie to answer that one. Until then, I hope you enjoy your visit to Jupiter's Claim.
Did you see a UFO in that cloud?
Yeah. No.
I ain't never seen nothing like this.
But right before we go into Jupiter's Claim, if you look on the left, you'll see some construction, but also the remnants of a giant 747 jet that was brought here and destroyed just for one scene in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, and filmed here in 2005. Now we're headed to Jupiter's Claim. I'm going to leave you with Academy Award-winning writer and director Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
UFO. I'm gonna alert the authorities about a possible UAP sighting. Just give me 1 second. Sir, we were just at Jupiter's Claim. Suspicious cloud zoomed by the area. My system stopped working. Everything went kind of haywire. If there's anyone in your team able to come investigate, please send them over as quick.
This might be more serious than I thought.
What?
What just happened?
Sir, you're cutting out too.
This is a secure line.
Sir, can you hear me? Oh, come on.
I'll tell you who I am, boy.
What?
I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight.
Okay.
I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are?
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. They'll stop at none to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
My name is Roman Pierce.
Hey, the tramp here.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need you to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Sounds good. Alright, we're hiding in here from a dangerous individual named Owen Shaw. Now please remain seated and inside the tram at all times. We're going to be hiding in the middle of a giant secret party now. The plan is to just blend in until we get more instructions, okay? Alright, here we go.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party, and where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Bill?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Sam, you can resume breathing.
You know it's crazy out there. You guys work hard. Respect.
Now my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
All right, now this means we are officially nearing the end of the tour for today. So, on behalf of myself, Rayan, I've been your tour guide, our amazing driver, Caleb, and all of us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, I'd like to thank you for your visit. Now, here's an insider tip for all of you. To get the most out of your visits with us, download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app. On it, you can check out wait times, show times, and get up-to-the-minute park information. You can see the schedule for our shows like Waterworld, a live Sea War spectacular. You can see the opening and closing times of the theme park throughout the month, wait times for all our rides and attractions, info on our annual passes. There's an entire section dedicated to Super Nintendo World, and a highly detailed map, so you always know where you are and where you want to go next. So make sure to download the app. Now, we're almost back to Tram Plaza where our journey began. When we get there, you'll be able to drop your 3D glasses in the silver and blue bins you're going to see on the left-hand side. The studio tour ambassadors will be opening all the gates on the left. Watch your arms and legs as the gates come up, and watch your step as you exit the tram. And once again, my name's Rayan, our driver's Caleb, and it's been a pleasure taking you behind the scenes here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. If you have any questions about the studio, the tour, sets, productions, movie making in general, or the theme park itself, I'll also be on the left-hand side by the digital studio directory, so don't hesitate to drop by and ask any questions, or just drop by to say hi. And on your screens, a long list of NBC Universal productions we talked about. If you want to buy any of these titles, check out the retail stores in the theme park, or the website uphe.com. Bye!